It was the afternoon, and a Redditor was fed up after receiving 2 scam calls. When their phone rang a third time, they answered with the intent of crashing out, only to hear the cries of a stranger who sounded eerily familiar. Meanwhile, a woman is having vivid dreams about her deceased dog, who keeps climbing onto her bed and lying down near her head. Finally, a person home alone goes to take a shower while their parents are out, only to find a corpse in the bathtub. Hello and welcome, crack souls of the internet, to Real Reddit Horror, the series where I read horror stories from Redditors that they swear are true. And without further ado, let's dive right into the realm of horror. The scariest phone call I ever got. It was around 12 to 1 p.m., and during that time, I got around 2 scam calls. Obviously, I declined them both, but when it got to the third one, I had it. I answered, ready to crash out on who kept calling me. But as soon as I said, hello, I started hearing a woman's cries. I responded, are you okay? And keep in mind, I do not know the person. But I also couldn't help but notice how it sounded like someone I knew. But I couldn't pinpoint it, since they sobbed and sobbed, before they finally responded, pick me up, over and over. And by now, I'm just wondering if they knew they were calling the wrong number. And I responded, who are you? Before they responded quite quickly, you know who I am. Please pick me up. And I was worried as fuck. And if I'm being honest, the number looked oddly like it could be from a school, but I doubt it. And then I said, I think you have the wrong number. And they said, no, please just pick me up. I was about to decline, but I was already uncomfortable and had a gut feeling that maybe this person is in trouble, or what if they are missing? And that was pretty stupid to think, but who wouldn't have thought that, with a woman crying and saying things like this? And then I responded again, are you okay? Before they cried for a good couple minutes, without saying anything. And after that, they declined. I turned off my phone, and being flat out just uncomfortable with all of the hairs on my body standing up and getting up to see if my door was locked definitely didn't help, as I thought what might have gotten that woman to frantically call someone yet accidentally call me. They unfortunately didn't call me back, so I couldn't tell if they were okay. But since that call, everything has been silent. No more scammers. But since then, I've been paranoid. Don't be freaked out. It was probably scammers trying to scam you. Not your fault nor responsibility. If they needed help desperately, they should have called emergency services in whatever country they're in. Don't answer unknown callers. You'll save yourself lots of stress. If it's important, they'll leave a message. Scammers. My mom got one saying it was me and sounded like me. My sister got one that sounded like my son. In both cases, they called me immediately to see if they were real. Awesome, they have the common good sense to call you to verify. Lots of people don't bother to verify and lose money to scammers. Glad you posted. These kinds of things need to be public announcements. Are they? I don't get ads on any of my streaming services. It sounds like someone was trying to get you to an isolated location so they could harm you. If they were in trouble or in danger, why not call 911? The fact that they would not identify themselves when asked tells me all I need to know. I've been having dreams about my dog. I've been having dreams where my dog, who passed away, comes and lays on my bed. Tonight's dream was very vivid. I had the dog back when I lived with my parents a decade ago. He was a Lhasa Apso named Boots. He was old, dying, and having seizures. When my parents took him to the vet to get him put down, they told me I couldn't come. So I told them, bring my dirty clothes from my laundry basket, and when he's being put down, put him on my dirty clothes so he can smell me. The past week or so, I keep having dreams where I'm in my bed and Boots shows up. Last night's was particularly vivid. Before I went to sleep, I had a talk with my supportive roommate about moving the heater closer to my bedroom so I wouldn't be too cold to get up in the middle of the night to go pee. So we moved the heater. In the middle of the night, I woke up with a full bladder. I was debating to myself whether I should get up and walk over to the bathroom to pee, when suddenly I heard and felt a warm, small animal get up onto my bed, near my head, and lie down. I thought, oh, it's Bootsy. Hi, Bootsy. And went back to figuring out if I was gonna get up to go pee. Suddenly, I woke up for real. My bladder was still full. I turned my head over to where Bootsy had been, and there was nobody there. I thought, wow, Bootsy visited me again. What do you think? Is Bootsy visiting me from beyond the grave, or what? I've had to say goodbye to 7 dogs over the years. Each time I was with them at the end. It's heartbreaking. I'm tearing up just thinking of it. I have had each one of them visit me at some point soon after they died to say hello. The most vivid was having one of them jumping up on the bed in the morning when I woke up. It was so real. It was at first a shock, then a comfort. I had a cat that used to get on my bed and snuggle with me all night. Regularly, I can still feel her jump onto my bed. It's not a spring popping or anything like that. Pet owners know what it feels like when their pets get on their bed. It's just nice to know she lived a happy enough life with me that she wants to stick around and hang after. I have had that feeling several times that someone sat on my bed. I believe. It's weird, right? Like you can tell it's not a spring popping or anything explainable. We instinctively know when someone puts pressure on the bed like that. Body in the bathtub. I haven't shared this story online before, and I am unsure what the experience even was. I was scared to tell anyone for years, in fact, because I thought nobody would think I was telling the truth. This happened around 6 years ago when me and my family had moved into a new house, which at the time we had only lived in for around 8 or 9 months so far. We still live in this house. It was around Christmas, generally around when kids would go on winter break, and my parents had gone out to do some last-minute shopping, leaving me home alone for a bit. I remember that when they left, it was around 3 p.m. I wasn't tired at all, obviously, so I sat down on my bed for a few minutes. Despite that, the next thing I knew, it was around 8 p.m. when I went to check my phone. I thought this was extremely bizarre because I could not remember anything within the time that had apparently passed. Like in an instant, hours had gone by. Immediately, I felt like something was wrong, but I decided to push that feeling aside and try not to make myself paranoid. Because of the time that had passed, I thought it would be a good time to take a shower before my parents got home and would want to take a shower themselves. For reference, our shower has a sliding glass door, so you can have one side completely open to view if you want. I had decided I would start the shower first and get my clothes and towel later, so I headed to the bathroom right around the corner. When I went into the bathroom and flipped on the light, I briefly checked myself in the mirror, as I always do before a shower. After I was done, I proceeded to look over to the bathtub and was struck with fear, frozen in place. I was horrified to see what looked like a gutted and decaying human body laying inside. The only thing I could compare it to was when you open an animal you've gotten from hunting, but as if it had sat out for days and began to rot. Immediately, I panicked and freaked out at the gruesome sight and had stumbled back, sliding down against the bathroom wall until I was sat down on the floor. I had no idea what to do, especially since I had left my phone in my bedroom. When I sat down, I had not hit my head or anything, but I proceeded to black out. I had then only woke up when my parents had apparently come home, and my father found me on the bathroom floor still, shaking me awake. I couldn't talk for several minutes. All I could do was hysterically sob and shriek in fear into him. I'm still confused and unnerved about what had happened, even if it's been several years, and I'm not sure if it's paranormal or something else. I would be interested to know if anyone else has happened to experience anything similar. Was the body still there when your father shook you awake, or do you think it was just a paranormal vision? From what I could see, it wasn't there, but I tried not to look in that direction as to not freak myself out more. When I went to the bathroom the next day, there for sure was not anything inside of the bathtub. That's weird and really spooky. I'm sorry that happened to you. If that happened to me, I'd want to move out for sure. How positive are you your dad or mom aren't killers? No offense. Also, I would have ran to my room, called my parents, and probably taken a photo. I cannot tell if you are serious, but I'm 100% sure neither of them would do anything like that. They are above amazing people. I'm pretty sure this was a paranormal experience, if anything. Probably, but why didn't you tell them? I kind of explained in the post, but in the moment, I was terrified. And after that, simply put, I was just worried they wouldn't believe me because it sounded so out there and spooky. If you know of any stories you would like for me to read, or if you have your own, feel free to add them to the comment section. Thank you for watching. I've been Craxo Spinner, and until the next story, I'm just in my room.